paper. We've got the 2021 paper here. Let's start with logic. So set metronome to 100 BPM, import bass. Logic 100 BPM. And import the bass. Here we go. Yes, let's have the tempo information. Where do you want us to put the bass? Beginning at bar 1. Bass begins at bar 2. There we go. Lovely. Let's get going. So, bass you've imported. Most appropriate quantized value for the bass in bars 2 to 12. Again, you're listening out for the most, for the bass that plays with the highest note value. Quantize to anything less than that, it's going to change the note lengths. Anything greater than that isn't actually going to affect it, but it could move things out of time. So from bars 2 to what? 2 to 12. Oh, get back over there. 2 to 12. So there's those eighth notes that are mostly playing, then you got a couple of 16th note fields just before, right here. Ba-dum dum dum, ba-dum 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 ba-dum. Okay, cool. So it's 16th notes. It's our highest note value. Again, if you need some help working some of this stuff out, you can always look at like note value graphs and charts or whatever, and try clapping some of these things out. Watch some YouTube videos that a couple of guys that are, or just grab a stick and a snare drum, or your hands. Clap your hands together in note length, and try to get a sort of feel for what note values are broadly. Obviously without like context of tempo and time and signature can be. But I mean, we're just talking about like on the level sort of stuff here. Just for the casual brains of what the most typical note value might be when quantized. Okay. At the pitch bend range of the bass in bar 12. So how far down is that little guy slipping? And again, if you can't hear intervals, if you're just like I can't hear intervals, a little cheat you can do is you can go into flex mode. We go to pitch, and we get real close. You should be able to see, and you can count. Look at that. There's the pitch drift of our bass. Dude, I think it's an octave anyway, isn't it? It's 12 semitones, but you can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, but it definitely goes lower than that. So at least 7. So 8 semitones would get you to the someone's telling me right now. Woo. Get you to A note. 12 semitones would give you a whole octave. 24 semitones would give you 2 octaves. 8 semitones. I know intervals, I just can't remember off the top of my head right now. So 12 semitones, it's a whole octave. It ends up almost, really, I don't think it is like the full octave. Yeah, it's pretty much sliding down the whole octave, almost. I don't think it's like accurately the whole thing. So it bends down an octave, not a tone, because it's not A. 2 semitones is 1 tone. B, 7 semitones is a perfect fifth. I should know that. I'm sure I do know that. And D, down an octave, not 2 octaves. Very lovely. Okay, there's another one of these piano grid guys. So below shows the piano for 13 to 14. State the position of the playback head. state the position of the playback head. So it's bar 14. We got 14. What beat is it on? What's the division? And the tick. So it's on. So if we look real closely at this, we're going to divide it up by 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That's like the first beat. And then these divisions are the little blocks in between, okay? Because we've got like 14, 14, 1, 14, 2, 14, 3. You can get a little bit closer and have a look on your door as well for that. So 14, it's just the one bar they've given you, is it? 13, 3, 14, 3. So it's like, that's right here in the middle, 14, 3. So you can use this just to look again. So that's what they've given you, okay? That's the information on the top bar line. So it's beat. So you can see the beats here divided into 4s. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is the first beat. Dum, dum. There's our little 8th notes at the beginning there. Dum, dum. So it's on beat 1 in the 3rd division. Oh, just about the 3rd division there. Very nice. Draw the bass part for 14 on the piano roll above. Bar 13 has been completed for you. So yeah, again, you can cheat. I mean, we're already kind of doing this. We're in the flex view, so we can see where these notes are on the MIDI roll. So if you have a look at 13, let's go back here. So dum 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 dum. Look, you can just draw them right in from the piano roll. That's one way. They probably don't expect you to do that because they probably just don't. They probably just expect you to go, let me listen to the intervals and work them out. And if you've got a super smart musical brain, you can definitely do that. I mean, you know, it's quite easy to hear them descending in tone, tone, semitone. You can sort of work that out really just by listening. If you are a muso, again, if you're not, if you're just like, you know, if it's just too foreign to you to work out intervals, then yeah, open up the flex mode and go to flex pitch, and you can see it out on the piano roll if you zoom in nice and close. You have to get a bit closer, otherwise it'd be quite hard to see there. So you can dum 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 dum. Yeah, and just fill them in like that, easy. That's all right. You can see that on the mark scheme here, how they've done that. It pretty much it does follow exactly what our flex pitch view does. On the graph below, illustrate the amplitude ADSR envelope for the bass synth. So this is how it shapes the overall volume. Okay, so the attack, the decay, how long it takes for the volume to drop, how long it sustains at that level, and then how quickly it releases and we don't hear any volume at all. That's our amplitude ADSR. So label the 4 stages and label the 2 axes. So I assume it's just amplitude and time. Yeah, time, milliseconds, the amplitude. So there's our ADSR. Oh, to label it, it literally just says put ADSR. So you're listening out for the attack. Look, it's quite a quick attack on the bass, isn't it? It comes in pretty quick. And it does drop in volume quite a bit, about half they've suggested. So that's the volume dropping, so that's how quickly the note comes in, the volume drops, it sustains there for a generous amount, and then the release just drops it off at the end. There's no sustain at the very end when the note stops playing. You can also see by the shape of the transients here how the note comes in with quick attack and then drops way down, sustains for a bit, and then drops off pretty quick too. So that's another good way of looking at it. The bass is out of time in 23 to 24. So more timing corrections, 23 to 24. Let's turn it off flex mode because we don't need that right now, I don't think. Edit the audio so the bass is in time. Repair the partially cut bass note on bar 25, beat 1. So let's, yes, we've got some fixing over there to do. And so, let's have a metronome. Bom bom dom. So it should start at the beginning of the bar. So let's cut that guy, cut this guy, and hopefully it'll just be as it. Well, let's not cut it there because we'll kill the transient. Let's just try and shift it over so it starts at the beginning of the bar here. Okay. Probably just a little bit late, isn't it? I think I'm just yeah. I need to get into the macro sometimes. There we go. And then fix what's happening at bar 25, right? So I think it has, look, the following phrase, we've got boom, 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 down. So I'm assuming we need a note here. So what's this going on? But what note is it? Well, the first two notes of each phrase are exactly the same. So I'm just going to say it's another one of these guys, right? So we just need to make a copy of this guy and bring it over. So it goes, but that's, yeah, you can see where it's cut off there. So we need to bring this right up to where that note starts. Let's just, good, that sounds nice and clean. Let's cut the playhead here. Where it ends. Yep. Hold the Alt key, bring this guy back so it starts at the beginning of bar 25. And we should have those two notes that are played the same. There's a little bit of a glitch I can still see there. Carried on, so let's take that guy out. Oh, yeah. Back it up. And let's hear it out. Okay, cool. Just need to fix, just smooth it out a little bit. I might not spend too much time doing this because of just time to get the video down. But the notes are in there. Then you could just go in and just like amend the beginning of it so they can cross over quite nicely. That sounds fine, actually. There we go, fixed. Next part. Oh, more MIDI binary. We'll come back to that guy. And we'll come back to that guy. The notes in the MIDI file have been assigned to the incorrect sounds. What files? We're supposed to bring something in. Oh, yeah, bring in the drums.mid. Okay. Can't remember this bit being too fun. Hopefully I remember. Yikes. Drums mid, yeah. Yeah, let's up the tempo. Okay. So I think it's like, oh, it's a piano, make it a drum set. Incorrect sounds. Using electronic drum kit, assign the notes to the sounds listed below to form a drum style drum part. You should not change the rhythm. So we need kick, snare, closed hi-hat, open hi-hat, and a crash in there at the very least. Well, at the very most at least. So we need to change this sampler. We need to have let's go to our library. We need to have an electronic drum kit. Let's just have, start at the top. So our drum sounds are down the bottom here. So we need to move these guys down. So let's select all of our drums. Shift Alt and down. Bring them down by an octave. Okay, so we needed so missing, let's bring it up semitone. So I've got kick drum. What did it want? Kick drum, snare drum, closed hi-hat, open hi-hat, crash. To form pop style drums. Okay, so how's it sound? Probably not what it should sound like. Let's try a different kit. A pop kit. Is it just like a traditional drum synth kit? Maybe. Just looking for sounds first of all, then we'll fix where the MIDI data is supposed to be. Just want a nice electronic drum kit that's just clean sounding for pop. After party? God no. Now wants an electronic drum kit, doesn't it? Okay, let's have, is that like modern pop? No, we got modern disco. Please don't spend this long sorting out your drum kit sound. Just get one in there. I'm just being a little bit tedious with it. Secret sauce? No. Oh my god. It's not helpful. Oh, trapdoor. Isn't that one of like the thingy kits that's quite useful? Oh my god, these are all awful. No. Sod it, that'll do. Kick drum, snare drum, closed hi-hat, open hi-hat, crash. Can't change the rhythm, but we have to change where these things are. So we've got a kick drum. These are claps. We don't want claps. So I'm assuming we can take our claps. Is that the kicks? Is that the right pattern? Is it like kick, snare? These are supposed to be the right ones. That's the tricky thing about this. Possibly. So I wonder if this, so we've got kick drum, snare drum, closed hi-hat, open hi-hat. So is it like, are these two the open and closed hi-hat? That's crash. It's a closed hi-hat. Is there an open hi-hat? Oh, hi-hat open. Okay, it doesn't sound like an open hi-hat. And what was the other thing it wanted? A crash. So I assume that maybe like these ones here in the middle are just the crashes that have been hit. Oh, I've got to bring these guys down as well. I totally forgot about them. Alright, down you come. I could have at least kept it in the right order, couldn't they? And these guys on a crash symbol. Okay. Let's hear you. I mean, I'm not even really convinced that that's right, to be honest. But that's how you import MIDI, and that's how you put a new instrument on and change some of the MIDI data around to suit and get towards certain sample triggers. If I just change kit now, will it keep everything the same? No, undo. Okay, whatever. That's fine for now. Well, let's see what the mark scheme says, actually. Mark 1 for each correctly assigned drum kit that plays the correct rhythm. But how do you know what the rhythm is? There isn't an example, is there? They've not given you what it should sound like. I don't think. Nope. That's a real, unless I'm missing something, a real in the dark shot there. Kick, hats and snare are acoustic. I said electronic drum kit though. What? Or does it just mean like, don't go and mic up a drum kit? I don't know. That seems a little dumb, right? See, I was going to pick an acoustic kit. Anyway, moving on, because it's going to take too much time. But you can mop up the mistakes there, right? That's fine. Our acoustics, yeah, okay. No wonder I was searching for, well, whatever, through the electronic drum kits was what it said. Moving on, the synth chords part. The synth chords, import synth chords to a new track. Beginning of the order should be aligned at bar 1, start at bar 4. Right, get out of here, drums. We've got some drums for the purposes of this. Synth chords, start in, bar 1, plays at bar 4. Looks good. Right, what do you want me to do? Bars 13 to 16, a filter has been applied to the synth chord to create a rhythmic effect. 13 to 16. Yes, it has. You can hear the filter and the envelope of the filter. The cutoff frequency is changing every 8th note to alternate between a less bright timbre and a bright timbre. That's right. Yeah, the graph below shows how shows the bright filter setting at song position 13-1-3-1. 13, bar 1, beat one, division 3. Or if we just listen out for the bright bit. So many numbers to read. Okay, so when it opens up, right? Identify the filter. The cutoff filter is changing. Oh, okay, so it'd be a low pass filter, right? Because it's opening up to the highs. You'd assume. The cutoff frequency, yeah. Identify the filter, so a low pass filter. Cutoff frequency is changing between bright, less bright and more bright. Yeah, so a low pass filter that opens up, right? Okay. Label the axes. Oh, let's have a look down here. Frequency in hertz. Yep, down here we've got amplitude on the left, right? That's quite easy. So amplitude, decibels, gain on the left. Frequency on the right, because this is our filter. We're looking at a filter here. Draw a cross to indicate the filter cutoff frequency. Cutoff frequency. The cutoff marked between -1 and -5 dB. The cutoff. Draw a cross to indicate the filter cutoff frequency. It's not giving you a frequency there, just cutoff marked between -1 to -5 dB. Draw a cross to indicate the cutoff filter cutoff frequency. What? Where's the cross? Maybe I'm missing something. Draw a cross to indicate the filter cutoff frequency. C. The cutoff is marked between -1 and -5 dB, but on what frequency? Draw a cross to indicate the filter cutoff. Is there a cross in there I'm not seeing? Don't think so. Cutoff marked between -1 and -5 dB. I don't know. I don't see a cross on the mark scheme or what it really means. It's asking about frequency. You'd assume that you'd cross along here somewhere as to wherever you think the cutoff filter is, sort of doing its thing from. But it's not done that. It just says mark it between -1 and -5 dB. How do the two things... If I'm missing something, someone please email me at markdoesn'tcare.com. I do care. I do care very much. So someone, if you figure this out, tell me. I don't get it. Draw the filter at song position 13, 1111. 111, sorry. Frequency. The low pass filter starts on the x-axis at 2K to 10K. 2K to 10K. 10K. 2K to 10K. Mark 1 if additional boosts or cuts. So wherever it starts, right at the beginning, right here, yeah? Right here, right now. Okay. Frequency low pass filter starts on the x-axis at 2K to 10K. Yeah, it's quite generous. So somewhere around here. That's quite a... Yeah, take your time to... I've done a lot of papers today, so maybe my head's getting a bit thin in the brain, but just look at that and tell me what you think. Next question. Vocal part. Import vocal.wav to a new track in your DAW. How vocal.wav to a new track in your DAW. And we are... The beginning of the audio track should be aligned with bar 1, plays on the third beat of bar 3, I think I just read. Good if we could hear it. Okay. The vocal was recorded by Suzanne Vega in '86 and has been edited to form vocal.wav. The vocal was recorded using analog tape. Identify a feature of analog tape, audible in bar 18. Okay, again, so we're listening for like what crap technology? Tape hiss, I bet. Yeah, hiss. Oh, they love it. They love a bit of hiss. The version used in Vocal WAV was downloaded from iTunes using AAC. State the type of data compression. In AAC, well, we learned about this in another paper, it's compressed, so it's lossy. It's lossy. AAC was the response to MP3, so it's still lossy. It's still a bit compressed. Remove the noise and breath in bars 3 and bars 18. I never bother noise gating vocals just because it can just be a bit of a mess. So we're just gonna wipe it like this and have the vocal start when it needs to. Okay, good. 18. Was it just that little guy there, was it? So cut it, playhead, drag it over. Boom. Easy marks. Nice. 3 marks for that. Incredible. It took me 2 seconds. Create a harmonized backing vocal in bars 28 to 31. So a harmonized backing vocal. 28 to 31. So here's 28. Solo our vocal. So create a harmonized backing vocal. So let's duplicate this guy because we're going to want to create another vocal. So let's cut here and copy and paste this guy down because we're going to harmonize it with this one, I assume. And I assume we're probably going to want flex pitch, so we can change the notes of the second vocal and harmonize it. The pitch of the first note in the lead vocal is A, indicated by a dot on the piano roll. Also, if we go into the pitch flex here, we should be able to see that the first note the singer sings is an A. Tis an A. A little bit flat, minus 20 cents flat, but never mind. The pitch of the first note in the lead vocal is A, indicated by the dot on the piano roll here. The backing vocal should use the same syllables as the lead vocal. The backing vocal should be in rhythmic unison. The pitch and rhythm is given below. Pan the backing vocal hard left. Alright, so there's A. Looks like they want us to start on F sharp, so I suppose down a minor third. So, and it looks like it's dropping in, so so a tone, tone, semitone, same deal, tone, tone, semitone. So this our backing vocal. So there's our original vocal. Let's close the library so we've got some more real estate up here. So our first note wants to start on F sharp. So this is telling us what our vocal should be. Da, 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 da. So our vocal at the moment is just doing a. And we want it to go, looking at this, so let's find that first F sharp note. Oh, nice harmony already. So we're going to drop these guys down. So da 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 da. Oh, this is fun. Double click on the notes and you can snap them into grid here. Oh, up you go. And then we want these guys to go down. Da, 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 da. Down a tone, right? So if you have a look on the piano roll behind, there's leaving a gap. There we go. Down it goes. Da, 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 da. It's going to be quite. I mean, you wouldn't really do this. You'd probably just hire a singer to come and do the harmonies, right? Because it's just be a mess otherwise, manipulating all these vocals down. But it depends on the quality of the vocal sample, perhaps, the skill of the producer, all sorts of things. Good practice though to do this sort of stuff. So we got what we got. Oof, and then See, there's lots of like extra little bits just kind of hanging around. Just hanging around. And then the last one was down a semitone, right? Ooh, Jesus. Let's bring this guy down. Oh, and this guy. Okay, it's the same, right? So I'm just going to copy and paste what we've just done. There's no point like doing that again. So let's just show hide flex. Let's bring this back to bar 29. Snap it on the grid. Make sure we got it all perfect, like. And then I'm just going to loop this little fella. Let's bring you back. Snap to bar 30. Cool. And if I loop it, hopefully we should get some results, right? Here we go. There we go. Oh, and pan at hard left, right? Okay, easy. Fine. Import vocal not compressed to a new track in your DAW. Vocal not compressed. I've done like 6 papers today. I'm losing my mind. Vocal not compressed. You come on in now, my guy. The file in bars 8 to 10 of the vocal, as it was originally recorded. You should not use this audio in your final mix. This file is bars 8 to 10. Okay, let's put it near 8 to 10 then. Yep. Oop. Yep. What do you sound like then, my guy? Ah! No!
Fills it only halfway, and before I even argue, he is looking out the window at some...
Okay. Vocal.wav has additional dynamic compression. Yup. The one that we were just listening to before that example we've just brought in. Evaluate the dynamic compression in vocal.wav. In vocal.wav. So that was this guy up here. Well, it's very compressed, isn't it? It's very loud and compressed. Where are we? Something G. So it's heavily compressed. So use those basic guidelines of dialogue. Okay, so like high ratio, low threshold, which means heavy compression, increased breath noise, increases the reverb on there because it's brought the reverb up with it, assuming both were recorded together. Controls the wide dynamic range of vocal, for example, before is brought up to match the other words. Helps vocals sit with a narrow dynamic range of electronic backing track. High makeup gain to compensate for high gain reduction. A slower attack on the vocals. Some transients aren't fully controlled. So it's not snapping the transients each and every time like a quick acting compressor would do. Optical compressor, which are typically used for vocals because they're a little softer and slower. A fast release to give you a pumping sort of sound. Yeah, have another listen to, go back and listen over that and see if you agree with some of the points here on the vocal compression. But, when you're doing questions like this, name drop parameters and how they're used. And then obviously give the wider context as to what that means for the track. Hopefully that's quite helpful there. All right, last little stretch here then, you guys. For question 5, you should now have the following tracks: bass, drum, synth, chords, vocal, and BVs. Apply automated panning to the bass. Man, they love this. Only bar 27 should be affected, so 27 smoothly from left to right. Oh, it's smoothly this time. From bar left to right. So bar 27 on the bass. Let's hear you. Left to right. Okay, so it's that one note that was had like the pitch drop on it, right? So automation, volume, main, pan, left. Again, a couple of nodes so we don't disturb the panning of center later on. Grab this guy, left, this guy, right. Maybe we should bring that over so it starts at the beginning of the note. There we go, lovely. 2 marks. Listen to the effect on the bass in bar 32. Create the same effect somewhere else. So what's over here? Okay, just some mad distortion. Recreate the same in bars 2 to 31. All right, okay. So yeah, let's. It's kind of fuzzy, kind of synthy. So let's slap something on. Let's go to the pedal board. Amps and pedals, pedal board designer, or pedal board. Let's try the fuzz face. Okay, so it's a lot thicker and what? Let's try the monster fuzz because it's got some more options on there. Let's bring the tone down. Let's turn it off and listen to the example. Still so woofy, isn't it? Let's hear this. And then, so there's our clean. Let's just try like a high cut a little bit. Although we're hearing the effects in bar 32. Let's hear this. So without the high pass, once more. It's very sort of low and fuzzy. Yeah, I really don't like it. There we go. Let's bypass these and hear what the... Is it just because they're playing different notes? Or is it... maybe this is an octave on there as well? So many options. Woof, Dr. Octave. Come and help us. Dr. Octave isn't doing anything. Doctor, give me the news. Oh, I'm feeling crazy now. Okay, so it might just be that the notes are played lower. So just put a fuzz on there. Get out of here. Yeah, I'm being a bit sort of lazy with it. So let's turn these guys back on. I had the pedal board off. That's why. Yes, sweet. See, I don't think it is down an octave. I think it's just because these notes are played lower, right? Right? I think that sounds fine. So I've put those effects on there, but we need to turn them off at bar 32, right? So again, we go to automation. We go to main, bypass the pedal board. So we're going to turn the pedal board off at the end. So let's just bypassed, and also bypass the channel EQ at the very end. So we get... it probably needs some attention, but you get the idea. I'm just showing you where some of these skills are, right? There we go, bypassed. So clear. Yeah, well, whatever. Might need some octave on there or some further treatment, but you get the idea. Turning things on and off with the automation, essentially bypassing the effects on and off, and it's obviously we're trying to match some sort of distortion and low pass filtering sound. Gate the synth chords. The bass track should be the trigger to the sidechain of the gate, so that the synth chords only play when the bass is playing. So we've done this sort of thing before. So synth chords. Let's put a noise gate on there, so they're only going to play when the bass is playing. Okay, so dynamics. Noise gate. Let's turn the threshold up so we can't hear the synth. And we're going to sidechain it over to the bass. Because the bass has now exceeded a certain volume, above minus 9 dB we've got here, it's opening up the noise gate to our synth chords and letting the synth chords play. So rather than it being an internal processor, the noise gate is now opening up via or from the bass guitar, so they play in time, which is what the question asked us. The bass should trigger the sidechain of the gate so that the synth chords play only when the bass is playing. trigger together. Listen to the delay and reverb on the vocals in bar 22. Delay and reverb on bar 22 on the vocals.
It was no one I had heard of. It was no one I had heard of.
It's quite slight, isn't it? Listen to the delay and reverb and vocals bar. Recreate the same effect on bar 7 on Coffee.
It was no one I had heard of. 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 It
Let's listen to the delay time.
was no one I had heard of. And
Heard of. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so like what we've got, like quarter note repeats there.
it was no one I had heard of. And
Okay, cool. So let's find that in bar 8. Coffee, 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 coffee. That's kind of what we're after here, right?
fills it only half.
Whoa. Oh, that's
And he fills it only halfway. And he fills it only halfway.
where's the word coffee then? Oh, bar 7, my bad. Coffee, coffee, coffee.
For the man to pour the coffee.
Coffee, coffee, coffee. Right, so let's put a little bit of reverb on there. Listen to the delay and reverb, recreate the effect in bar 7.
For the man to pour the coffee.
There is some reverb on there.
For the man to pour the coffee.
I think, right? But let's put a little bit on there so Space Designer classic.
For the man to pour the coffee. For the man to pour the coffee. For the man to.
Okay, and let's put a quarter note delay on there. Delay, tape delay.
For the man to pour the coffee.
But it doesn't like soak the whole thing, right? I think it's automated in. So if I just turn this delay off, head over to, what was it, bar 22? Oh, so much scrolling. Bar 22. Let's turn the looper off so we don't get stiffed.
It was no one I had heard of. And
Yeah.
it was no one I had heard.
Only a slight more delay than what we got over here.
For the man to pour the coffee.
I'm going to put the reverb on there.
For the man to pour.
Okay.
For the man to pour the coffee. For the man to pour the coffee.
And let's automate that delay in so it doesn't start until the word coffee. So delay. And we'll have the wet value. Okay, so we'll have the wet come up on the word coffee, which is right at the end there, I assume. And then disappear again. For the man who passed the coffee. And we'll automate, I suppose, the reverb off. So main, bypass Space Designer in bar 7. No, keep it bypassed either side, right? And we just want the reverb on in bar 7. Just want it's the same, doesn't it? Right? I'm pretty sure.
For the man to pour the coffee. For the man to.
Why are we still hearing delay, output wet?
For the man to pour the coffee. For the man to pour the coffee.
Why is it why are we getting that? It shouldn't be. Have I put something on the wrong track? No, tape delay. Output wet. It should be mute.
For the man to.
Interesting. Space delay. What have I got wrong? Tape delay. Oh, just the wet? So what did I put on? Not that apparently. Ooh. Must have missed it. It's been a long day. 30 in and out. Out.
For the man to pour the coffee. For the.
Cool. And then you just have to play with that to make sure it sits right. I'm being lazy with this now.
For the man to pour the coffee. For the.
Yeah, I think that's okay. I mean, you might be tired after like 2.5 hours of the exam to be like, that'll do.
Man to pour the coffee. And he fills it on.
There we go. It's something like that. So it's automated in. Listen to the effect on the vocals in bars 11 to 12. Recreate in bars 26 to 27 on head. 11 to 12.
At somebody coming in. At somebody coming in.
That's a fun sound. Recreate the effect in bars 26 to 27 on head. Head. Okay.
Me, and so I raise my head. Me.
So I would say sample it. So let's have a. Let's just cut this guy up.
Me, and so I raise my head. Me, and so I raise my head.
It's just this last little bit here, isn't it? Here. So let's grab a bit more of this. Command T, grab it down to the sampler. Follow tempo. Oh, let's hear. Can't I hear my? Oh.
My head. My head. Head.
Let's try and put it on a loop. And let's get a little bit closer here. Shorter. Is it like that? It needs to be like maybe like a. Yeah, it's like that, right? Like the sample's sort of stuttering. Let's go back. I can't remember what bar it was. 11 to 12.
At somebody coming in.
Yeah, so we've pretty much done what we've done. We've just grabbed that element of the sample, dropped it into the sampler. Here, bar 27. And we've shortened, really made it quite intense, the little loop section, so it starts to stutter. Let's find the right key. Just like that, and then I guess we just record it in before I just open up the MIDI. There's our root key, there we go. Pencil tool. It's U, isn't it? Somewhere there. Let's go back to the pointer. And just make sure that sits where it should. Where are you? Where'd you go, my guy? Alright, we'll just record it in. Here.
He is looking out the window at somebody coming in.
Oh, I'm looking at the wrong part on it, but MIDI's there, that's fine. Heard. So we can take this guy, bring it over to bar 27. Was it bar 27 or 17? Ooh, 26 to 27. Oh, yeah.
At some. Raise my head.
Needs to go up in pitch, doesn't it? Just make it last as long as the vocal does, and then I guess kill the original. Almost as long. Bye. Fade this out and let it blend into the new bit. That could be a thing. Oh my god. Raise my head.
I raise my.
We need to blend it with the original audio. Could be good. Who knows?
Raise my head.
Ah.
Raise my head. Raise my head.
That's an interesting one. I wonder if this is the way they're supposed to do it. Let's have a look at the old marked scheme. Where are we? 5E. Listen to head. The vocal has been extended in bars 26. The pitch is C sharp. There are no clicks. Oh, okay. There's a much simpler way of doing this rather than sampling it, which I thought was a pretty clever idea. Let's get rid of this fade altogether. It goes into flex mode. So easy. I was like, why is this taking so long? We should be able to stretch it with rhythmic. If we go into that note, You can create like a high speed section, I think, something like that.
My head.
Oh god, I think my idea was pretty good. Might take a little bit longer than you need to.
My head.
So, is it rhythmic or automatic? Let's get a little closer here so I can see the.
My head. My head.
Okay, there you go. So it's just went such a long way around it.
My head. My head.
Oh, let's hear that without.
So I raise my head.
Okay, fine. So automatic, polyphonic mode. It'll probably work in rhythmic mode as well. Just slightly different modes of the same thing, aren't they? More or less. So I just grabbed the transient and stretched it out. Ooh,
My head.
that's done some stuff.
My head.
So the transient lasts longer than it should. But the previous one, the example sounded like a bit stuttery, so I thought that's what we had to do. I thought we had to sample it. Never mind, balance the levels of the mix just like before. So X, let's grab everything we need, mute any examples that we pulled in, such as vocal not compressed. And yeah, we'll kill that guy because my precious sample. And instead we just got these guys up here, synth chords, vocal. Is that the harmony we did? Yeah, panned left. The drums and the bass. It's just fine again, like a loud section. Oh, it sounds awful, doesn't it? Let's bring this down. It's because the kit isn't right, but I thought we had to use electronic. Never mind, you can use acoustic bits. Alright, something sounds like really out of time. I don't really know why. I must have pulled something around at some point, but whoops. Yeah, if that happens, wow, that's scary territory to be in. So just undo a couple of times, or call me for some help. Let's see. Did the synth chords and these guys sound okay? Yeah, I think I must have just pulled the vocal around at some point when I was just messing around with some bits there. Fear not. I think, is it just, yeah, it's a bit too far to the right. If I pull it back over, I think we're good. No, sounds even more like a nightmare. Furiously undoing this. Take away my samples that I was messing with. Maybe somewhere around there I shifted something I shouldn't have. Maybe it's just supposed to sound like that. Anyway, at least we have covered the core skills. So just keep an eye on your door as you move through it, as to not move any audio forward or backwards. So just check before you bounce stuff. But hopefully that's covered a lot of the practical skills in this 2021 paper, as well as some of the theoretical questions. Again, I'll do the section B stuff another time. And I'll cover MIDI binary and anything else that was a bit spicy in another video. But here's all the practical bits. Cheers, guys.